What's up? Welcome to the Skytapes, the best cinematic masterpiece in history. I got work clothes on because I'm about to go to work. Gonna be there until this music go where it's meant to go. And I just want to tap in and tell y'all, update y'all on life. I know I usually don't do talking to the camera with the Skytapes, but sometimes I'm gonna switch it up. I really just go with the flow because it's really like a conversation anyway. It's like you're an external person right here, you know. But anyway, had COVID for the first time. I guess I had one of the weaker versions, but I got a pretty strong immune system, so it was pretty mild. It was like a fever for a day and a half, and then I just had like a little bit of chest filled with mucus, I guess, for a couple of days, and and then it was gone. Like it lasted maybe 6 days, but yeah. So beat COVID. But the main thing that happened through that time was I was really dealing with looking at, you know how you're in the stages, if you're creative or you have a business, you have anything that you're just passionate about. In the beginning stages, of course, you're always saying, yeah, this is great. But I was dealing with the point, because I've gotten to the point where I'm not in the stages where I think I can just see where the music could be better to be where the top people create. I'm at the point where I've grown so much and I look at my music so much from a third person point of view that I can see where the music is just beautifully written, beautifully performed, beautifully produced. And I just know with the right placing, if it was released by certain people, that yes, this music is something that if it was by anybody else, it would be some of the biggest stuff in the world. Shameless plug, by the way. Give In, my new single featuring Dre Gas, out now on my YouTube and everywhere else on every platform. Links to that will be down below. But anyway, so with that, I just was stuck in a loop of thinking of, okay, if that's the case, why hasn't it propelled yet? Why hasn't it thrown me into the stratosphere of being one of the biggest rising artists in the world, you know? You see all these people fly overnight, and sometimes honestly it can be discouraging when you create or you have a business and you see these people who go from nothing to something. It's for overnight, you know, the American dream of work by your bootstraps, pull yourself by your bootstraps, and you propel yourself and build the life you want, you know. Even though I had to just remind myself of, I have to stay in the present moment. See, a lot of times I like to tell people, other people and myself, remind myself of just staying in the present moment of right now, because you'll never have this moment again. I'll never have this moment of being in the space mentally and physically of working all these hours to make money, to finance, to be able to even just make music, pouring every single dollar, which isn't a lot at the very moment that I have, to do this thing, and time to shoot my own videos and do these performances, performing anywhere and everywhere that I can, just to get new people to hear me. I never had this moment again, so just appreciating this moment, because I'll never have the moment again of being at the point of first learning about music, as far as I can do this, and figuring out what type of music I wanted to make. Not what people want to hear, but what music I wanted to make. I won't be in that place again. So I had to appreciate where I was then. So I have to continue to appreciate myself right now, being in the space of, yeah, you're creating amazing music, but it's not going anywhere. Unless I delete it, it's not going anywhere. People, it's like investments. People may not see that you're Kanye, that you're Google, that you're Apple, that you're this entity creating all these amazing things in that very moment. But that doesn't mean that it takes away and they see it in, say, a year, say 5 years. I'll still be creating. And eventually, there will be something in a moment where that switch happens and I'll be propelled, But it will be just slowly. And people will go back and be like, when Kenny dropped Give In, when he dropped Meantime, when he dropped all these different songs, how did it not propel him then? So I was having to remind myself and ground myself in the present moment. Because a lot of times we get too caught up in the memory of the past, or we get too caught up in the possibility of tomorrow. So I have to just remain grounded in right now. Remain grounded in working as hard as you can and enjoying this moment you're in. Because there's a thrill that you won't have it's a different type of thrill that you missing out on if you don't see the moment you're in right now, as far as being in that place of trying to you're in that rise in action of your life, of at the climax, this is when you reached everything you've been working hard for. You're in that rise in action. And there's a lot of character building that happens in that, a lot of growth that happens within that, a lot of greatness in your life. Memories that's going to be happening in that moment. So you have to be in that moment and just manifest everything that you're trying to get to that climax. And that's just what I was having to remind myself. Keep creating. Keep enjoying this whole process of not having the funds to, at the very moment, to just go to the studio and be in the studio 12 hours every day, all day. Knowing that resources at the very moment are limited, but they won't always be. Enjoying how me and my friends and family have to take small amounts of time that we have and utilize it strategically, because we don't have too much to expect. We never have enough time, but when you have to work so much just to be able to get by and do certain things that you want to do, it's even less than that. So understanding it, enjoying that, embracing that, knowing that this is just the rising action of our lives. That's what's been keeping me grounded. Because during this week, I was definitely getting like in an air balloon. Just soaring onto the, but why is this, and why is this, and why isn't this here yet? And I had to remind myself of how, when I first created, I had no opportunities at all. No one knew me at all. Now I have people telling me about how random people in all types of places and walks of life and with all types of connections are looking and hearing about me. How even I got to perform for Rock Nation. Not many people have that opportunity. Seeing the numbers consistently grow and grow as I continue to have consistency with this music thing is beautiful, and I have to just appreciate it. See, a lot of times it's so many amazing things happen, even if it's 10 people watching you, listening to everything you put out, and supporting you. Whether it's 100, when it gets to 1,000, 50,000, 100,000, 1,000,000, we have to consistently remind ourselves of how this is amazing right here. 10 people doesn't seem like a lot until it's 10 people in the room specifically here for you. 50 people doesn't sound like 50 people watching you every month doesn't sound like a lot until you have 50 people in a room at a concert for you. Not 50 people here for 10 other people. 50 people here for you. So listen to everything, every word you have to say, every syllable that comes out of your mouth, every note that comes out of your mouth, every emotion that comes expressed off of your face. When I remind myself that, I look at how the numbers aren't always as important as we put them. It's more so that the people and the energy that we receive and the energy that we feel and express. So that's what I mostly was working on. Keeping myself grounded. Not allowing all these things that we can sometimes get caught up with catch me up and miss out on this amazing part of my life. Because I already know where I want to be. I already know I'm going to be one of the greatest artists, one of the greatest artists to ever live. Creatives. One of the greatest creatives. Creating a space for not only me, but my friends and family and loved ones and people that I don't know and people across the globe who are dealing with what I'm dealing with. You know, just trying to make it with something. Just trying to have a space for something. I know that I'm going to have a prolific life beyond music. I know I'm meant to have a change. I've seen my life in dreams and visions. So I have to just enjoy the growth, you know? What is a movie of, say, let's say Star Wars? What is Star Wars if you just only see the part when Luke is fighting Darth Vader at the climax of the decision of going to the dark side or staying with the light? If you've never seen Luke's, before he even picked up a lightsaber, before the training with Yoda, before he becomes a Jedi, you know? That's how you have to look at your life. Look at your favorite movie as your life. If you take out the build-up, what is just the climax of the movie? What is just the climax of a movie? When you let that resonate with you, and then look at your life of how that's just a part of the story that makes it amazing, everything becomes a little bit easier. And right now, life is becoming a lot easier when I look at it that way. And right now, life is becoming a lot easier when I look at it in that lens.
G-A-T-Z-P-Y